Good evening students. Today we are going to discuss about funding. First, you know what is a funding. So, delivered a ludic presentation by utilizing this used to present an overview on the topic with the right visual, themes, shapes and graphics. This is our extremely designed complete deck that reinforce positive thoughts and action. Use it to provide visual cues to our audience and help them to make decision. A wide variety of discussion topics can be covered with this creative bundle, such as funding cycle, startup funding, funding grant, venture capital. Next we are going to discuss business life cycle funding sources with value drives. Source of funding comes under the stage 1, friends and family startup, venture capital. Third, self-financing venture capital banks, private equity banks, turnaround private equity. Second, it shows the value drives, market potential, trust in founder, revenue growth, target margin, operating margin, growth equality, asset earning, debt capacity, liquidation, debt payout, investor risk, business failure, competition, lagging profit margins, startup management, distressed management in denim. Average funding raised through these types of activities. Revenue comes under according to the startup, the stages 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5. Next we are going to see roadmap for startup funding. First, funding raised. Then it will be raised under date, funding round, funding sources, investors, etc. Next we are going to see estimated project expenses with funding goals. Under this you have the funding goals and expected revenue after funding. Increase employees by 500, expanding to countries, incorporating new machine, increase net profit at 12%, etc. Under this, expecting revenue after funding, commercial construction, regulations, then infrastructures. Next we are going to see marketing project funding required with expected revenue. Under this project activities, first run digital marketing campaign for product slides. Second, activities pad Google ads, writing 5 pieces of content every day, targeting Instagram advertising, local search engine optimization. Funding requirement comes under the expected revenues and also the requirements. Next we see startup funding models with pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. And the first one, bootstrap, full ownership, greater control, limited debt. Under cons, financial risk, less creditability, slower growth. Crowdfunding, less financial risk, equity ownership. Here, disadvantages, endorsement has minimal value, chance of negative feedback. Then funding, investors network benefit, entrepreneurial background, high investors are accepted. Here, slow funding process, ambiguous terms and conditions, founder control is reduced. Data funding, control retain, tax advantage. Here qualification requirements, collateral, high interest rates. Venture capital, it comes under the business expert, network opportunities, then investors own a stack, antiquous process, etc. Next we see funding grant proposal with project goals. Under it comes company details, company X, location, then it comes under the funding. So it also includes the project goals, then interacting new production, introducing product, then expanding more 3 cities, etc. Next we see pre and seed funding around business valuation. Under funding amount, focus on valuation, target, then investors. Next, venture capital stages with funding sources. Under this venture capital, it comes under the proceeds, seed, Series A, B, Series C, beyond, etc. Thank you.